Restored, he restored my faith and lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
Please be seated. Our next speaker this morning is Sergeant Daniel Affolter II, U.S. Army. He enlisted in the Army in July 2005 as an infantryman. Sergeant Affolter received his basic combat training at Fort Benning, Georgia. Throughout his career, Sergeant Affolter has been a rifleman, heavy machine gunner, team leader, and squad leader. He is a veteran of two 13-month deployments to Iraq, most recently returning in March of 2009 with Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 22nd Infantry Regiment, 1st Brigade, 4th Infantry Division. In addition to Sergeant Affolter's combat deployments, he has attended the Army Unmanned Aerial Vehicle School, Bradley Crew Evaluators Course, Tactical Combat Casualty Care Course, Warrior Leaders Course, and the Army Recruiters School. Sergeant Affolter's awards include the Combat Infantryman Badge, Army Accommodation with 2 oblique clusters, Army Good Conduct Medal, Overseas Ribbon with Star, and Iraqi Campaign Medal with 2 stars. He is currently serving as the Army recruiter here in Lawrence, Kansas. Please join me in welcoming Sergeant Affolter.
Well, hopefully you guys can hear me. I know this microphone's kind of far away. Good morning, everyone. When I was asked to speak here today, they wanted me to speak about my experiences in Iraq. I immediately started thinking about every mission that I've ever been on. There were the missions where we sat in one spot for 10 hours, didn't do much of anything except sit there. We would sit and talk about the finer aspects of life. For example, we tried to figure out what is after outer space, or is there anything? Is it outer space? Never could figure it out. The other thing we tried to figure out is why when you would throw a piece of licorice out on the streets in Iraq when it's 140 degrees, it wouldn't even get soft, but a crayon would melt in 2 hours. Then I thought about the missions with the shooting and the explosions, and I started to realize those missions are already on the news. You guys have already seen it. I already kind of know what's going on. So then I started to focus on the missions that meant the most to me. And these missions are the ones where we were out helping people. They don't really make the news. You don't really hear too much about them, but they're near and dear to my heart. These missions and experiences I'm talking about don't involve fighting. They involve the helping. I was able to take part in rebuilding 26 schools with my company. We built computer labs for all the schools with internet, built new desks in there, new walls, repainted it, and reopened these schools in the 13 months that I was there. We provided security for these schools and funds for the contractors to come in and rebuild them. Another one of the missions that we had was to provide grants for businesses to reopen, for the locals there to reestablish their economy and build. My company alone provided grants for 600 businesses to reopen in our area in Iraq. One of the most memorable ones was this fish market. It took about 2 months to open and build, and sitting there for hours and hours on end where those licorice toxins came from. We would sit there for 12 hours to provide security while we put in walls, cleaned up the area, and established the market. This market provided a place for 20 to 30 vendors to come in daily and sell their catch of the day to the locals in the area. This is in the town of Sadia, which is southwest part of Baghdad. And the last mission I'm going to talk about is by far my favorite. We would go on patrols and drive around, and there was 2 buildings we would frequently go check. These 2 buildings, well, they were orphanages. They were orphanages in a sort. They were for 2,500 families who were fatherless, whether they had died because of us, died because of the terrorist attacks, or died of natural causes. These places provided food, supplies, school supplies, anything they needed to get by. Well, me and my platoon took it upon ourselves to go a little bit further than what was given to us. So, called back to my mom and asked for some help. I was like, hey, we need some school supplies. We need some stuff to give to these families, help these kids out. So with her back here and me going back out on patrol again, she made some calls, talked to a few people. I called back. She said, hey, I got some help for you. She told me that several businesses around here in town were willing to help out. Some of these, biggest supporters at Emprise Bank, who sent me at least 5 boxes a month, tons of supplies. Kaw Valley Soccer Association sent me 50 soccer balls that I was able to hand out to the kids around the area. Lawrence High, Free State High, and parents as teachers all helped provide school supplies, from coloring books to backpacks and to notepads. And with the support of everyone back here, it helped to make my deployment more rewarding and realize exactly what we are fighting for. So, thank you.
And salute.